let's look at my worst game week ever in FPL and some of the must-haves for game week 29. Whether you're on a free hit or whether you're not on a free hit, the must-haves are all the same. So first, let's have a look at the team for game week 28. So I'm on 17 points, and that is not including the -4 that brings me down to 13. The highest scorer on my team has bagged a total of 2 points. 2 points! Another little fun fact for everybody. There are a total of 10.7 million FPL managers that signed up to play this year. I sit with a game week rank of 10.6 million. I'm pretty sure I have a worse game week rank than people who are playing anti-FPL, and that is an achievement in itself. I was making lots of progress, well on my way to the top 10k. I was sitting just 4k outside it in top 14k, right? Loads of game weeks, loads of progress. And then 1 week where I don't own Son and Cole Palmer, I get shot straight back down and I'm back outside the top 40k. And just to make matters even better, when Luton play Bournemouth in the midweek, it's probably going to hurt my rank even more because I only have 2 double game week players. Now, going into game week 28, I always knew it was going to be a tough week. I always knew it was going to be one of the bad ones. I just had to sacrifice it because my chip strategy is wildcard 36, and lots of people have already used their wildcard or they're about to use it, so they can make themselves a strong double game week 28 team without too much hassle. I had no idea it was going to go this badly, okay? So yeah, my challenge to everybody watching this, please show me a team that's worse than mine this week because I guarantee you can't find one. Anyway, that's enough of the negative energy, enough of the complaining. Let's get into your blank game week 29 must-own players. Although first, I would like to discuss the fake must-haves of the game week. People you may believe you should own, people you've been told that you have to own, but really you can afford to go without them. The first one I'll say is Maddison. Now, don't get me wrong, this guy is still a very nice pick, and you easily could go with him, but he's not a must-have, considering there's so many midfield options that could be better. You have the likes of Bowen, Kudus, Gibbs White, you have Son, and you even have Kulusevski that could give Maddison a run for his money. All 5 of those midfielders I just named, including Maddison, all their underlying data is quite similar over the past few game weeks on recent form. My thing is, I think playing Fulham away is a lot harder than playing Aston Villa at home. It's harder than playing away to Luton. So it's just something to think about. I don't think I'm going to go with Maddison, and I think other people maybe should leave him out as well. Next one, and I don't even know why I have to say this, but Doughty is not a must-have. Let's be honest. Luton are going to concede at least 2 goals, which means even if Doughty gets an assist, he's not going to get the bonus points. I don't even think he's going to get an assist. His expected assists aren't insanely high. He could get one from a set piece. I'm not ruling it out, but I really doubt it's going to happen, especially when you could either double up on the Spurs defense, you could double up on the Brentford defense. For, a very good chance of a clean sheet, it just seems a bit useless. I would go as far to say that he's not even a good option in the first place, but maybe I'll get proved wrong. Who knows? We'll see when the game week comes around. Now, let's get into the players you actually have to own or else you're going to get shot down in the ranks. First of all, probably the biggest captaincy choice is Heung-min Son. Now, as I've learned the hard way, you simply cannot survive without him, especially when he's got a decent game against Fulham. Although I wouldn't jump the gun on captaining Son because there's also a few more good options to pick as your captain. So make sure you actually think about it. Make sure you take the time because if you pick the wrong captain, it could change your game week completely. Now, even though Aston Villa play against West Ham, there is a must-own from Aston Villa and there is a must-own from West Ham. Aston Villa and West Ham are 2 fairly strong attacks in the recent game weeks. You can see they can score a lot of goals. There's no denying it. But if you look at the defensive data, you look at the expected goals conceded, you look at the expected clean sheets, Aston Villa and West Ham are both fairly low on that spectrum. So I really think this could be a high scoring game. So I'd definitely pick some attackers from both sides. All this data I am talking about is based on the last 4 or 5 game weeks. So it's all on recent form. So I think it's quite valid. First up, I want to talk about Ollie Watkins. We all know why he's here. I'm leaning towards Watkins' captaincy the most at the moment, I'll be honest. He's Mr. Consistent. He does it all the time. If you go without him, you're guaranteed to lose unless you get very lucky. Out of all the players that are playing in blank game week 29, Ollie Watkins has the most expected goals by far. If you're talking about the whole season or whether you're talking about recent form, he's got it all. So definitely make sure he's in your teams. Now, for the West Ham side of things, I'm actually going to give you guys an optional must-have. I'm just going to say you need at least 1 West Ham midfielder, specifically Bowen or Kudus. Now, Bowen's data recently and his recent form is not good. He scored 1 hat-trick in the last 10 games. I think apart from that, he's not done anything. So he's very inconsistent. I think he may blank, but because he's going to be very high owned, and I know what he's done earlier in the season, I do want to stick with him because at the end of the day, he is playing striker for West Ham. He's against a weak defensive team in Aston Villa, so I want to pick him. I want him there. Although I do prefer Kudus. He's got better expected goals, better expected assists, and we all know he can overperform his expected goals as well, meaning he could be in for a high scoring game week. Now, you don't have to own both of these guys, even though I probably will, but you need to own at least one of these guys. If you don't, then you're toast. They both have a lot of good data to back them up. They're both good at finishing. They can both help each other out with the assists, so it seems like a good duo to own. And who would have guessed it? Our final must-own player is Ivan Toney. Now, they've just had 5 pretty tough games in a row, Brentford have, so I'm sure they're going to want to make the most of this easy fixture against Burnley, who are probably the worst in the league this year, if not their second worst, just behind Sheffield United. And Ivan Toney is obviously the attacker you want from that team. Maybe Wissa as well. That's a good option, but Wissa's not a must-have. Ivan Toney, you don't want to go without. So yeah, guys, those are my opinions on the must-haves. There are many, many other good options, but I don't think anyone else is an absolute must-have except these 4 players here. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you think I missed anyone out. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching.